The galaxy had forgotten humanity. Not out of malice. No, the great empires of the Orion Spur simply believed humans had faded into irrelevance. 2 centuries after the Soul Accords, Earth had withdrawn from expansion, choosing instead to focus inward. They colonized quietly, traded modestly, caused no trouble, and made modest allies among minor systems. To the powerful civilizations of the Galactic Council, humans were background noise, interesting creatures, clever in small ways, emotional, unpredictable, occasionally inspiring, but ultimately insignificant. At least, that was the belief. Until the debt came due. The Krail Dominion was a superpower among superpowers, an empire that stretched across 40 star systems, built upon industrial brutality and a warrior culture forged over millennia. They had risen to power long before humanity had discovered faster-than-light travel, and they had never met an enemy they could not crush by simple force. And they despised owing anything to anyone, especially humans. The debt had been incurred during the Vorian Plague crisis, when a mysterious pathogen tore through the Krail homeworld and its colonies. Billions were dying. No cure existed. The Dominion's own scientists had failed. Human doctors didn't. A volunteer medical fleet from Earth broke quarantine, entered Krail space without weapons, and delivered a cure at staggering personal cost. Thousands of human doctors and nurses perished. Hundreds of ships never returned. The plague was stopped, the Dominion saved. The Krail Emperor, bound by their ancient code, swore a debt of honor to humanity, a debt that would one day be repaid, no matter the cost. Decades passed. Memories faded. Empires shifted. The Dominion pretended the debt did not exist. But humans remembered, and they would call upon it. Captain Leora Dane stood on the viewing deck of the starship Artemis, staring out at the swirling gold and indigo nebula known as the Path of Stars. Her jaw was tight, her hands clasped behind her back. She wore the black and silver uniform of the United Terran Peace Corps, called peacekeepers by allies, meddlers by some, but simply humans by most. Behind her, Boots approached softly. "Captain," said a voice. Commander Jalen Brooks, her second-in-command, stopped beside her. "Message from Earth Directorate. They've confirmed it." Leora didn't turn immediately. She knew what it meant. "So the rumors are true," she said quietly. "Yes," Brooks replied. "The Krail attacked the Demarian Protectorate. 3 colonies destroyed. Millions dead. And," his voice darkened, "they used chemical purification systems. The illegal kind." Leora closed her eyes. The Dominion crossed the line. Hard. Silence stretched between them. Finally, Leora spoke. "The Demarians invoked our Treaty of Mutual Aid. Legally, we're obligated to intervene." Brooks nodded. "They helped us during the Europa water crisis. They earned our support. But the Dominion," Leora exhaled slowly. "They're not just strong. They're arrogant. And unpredictable. They won't accept diplomatic pressure. They never have." Brooks leaned against the railing. "Word is, the Council won't support us." Leora's eyes turned sharp. "Of course they won't. They never support humans unless it benefits them." Brooks grimaced. "The Valari said the Dominion is too strategically important. The Calixians said we should avoid escalating tensions. And the Lathari," they laughed. Leora felt heat rise in her chest. Anger, yes, but more than that. A cold, quiet determination. "And Earth's response?" she asked. "Earth invoked the Code of Debts." Leora jerked her head toward him. "They did what?" Brooks nodded grimly. "They called in the ancient Krail vow. The debt from the Vorian plague." Leora stared at him. "No human government has invoked that code in 190 years, she whispered. "I know. And the Dominion must answer." "They have to," Brooks said. "Their honor code demands it." Leora's gut churned. On paper, invoking the debt meant the Dominion was obligated to help. In reality? "They'll see it as an affront," she said. Brooks nodded. "Or worse. A challenge." Leora turned away from the nebula, pacing across the deck. They despised that they once needed us, she said. Being forced to repay a debt to a lesser species will feel like humiliation. Captain, Brooks hesitated. Earth believes they won't dare refuse. They'll refuse, Leora said flatly. Or they'll pretend to accept, then betray us. Maybe. But Earth wants us to deliver the summons personally. Leora stopped walking. Us. The commander offered a thin, nervous smile. Admiral Singh said you're the only captain the Dominion respects. Leora snorted. They respect me because I once outmaneuvered their Fifth Fleet in a war game. Exactly. And because I humiliated their famous Captain Vorik. Also exactly. Leora rubbed her forehead. Which means they hate me. Brooks shrugged. Respect, hate, with the Krail it's the same thing, really. Leora sighed. Fine. Prepare the delegation. We leave for the Krail homeworld at dawn. Brooks nodded and left the deck. But Leora remained, eyes drifting back to the shimmering nebula. She whispered to herself. We saved your people once. Now you slaughter ours. And we will make you answer. Little did she know, the galaxy was already trembling. Not because humans had invoked the ancient debt, but because the Dominion had no intention of honoring it. They planned something else, something darker, something that would awaken a side of humanity the galaxy had forgotten, or perhaps never known. Across the galaxy, deep within the obsidian throne hall of the Krail Emperor, the High Council gathered in secret. Towering in heavy armor, eyes glowing with predatory light, they bowed as the Emperor rose. Earth has invoked the debt of blood, the Emperor growled. A debt we swore when we were weak. A snarl spread across the Emperor's face. We are not weak now. The Council murmured in agreement. They demand our aid, our fleets, our strength. The Emperor spat the words. They demand tribute from the Dominion. From us. A counselor stepped forward. Shall we refuse? The Emperor shook his head slowly. No. We shall accept. The chamber fell silent. Publicly, the Emperor continued. We shall honor the debt. But privately, we shall erase humanity once and for all. A wicked grin spread across the Emperor's fanged mouth. Prepare the ambush. When their delegation arrives, humanity will learn that debts are paid in blood. Far away, unaware of the trap waiting for them, Captain Leora Dane stared into the nebula and felt something icy twist in her chest. A whisper of danger. A spark. A warning her instincts refused to ignore. The galaxy thought humans were merely traders, doctors, diplomats, engineers. But when threatened, when provoked, when betrayed, humanity remembered what it was. A force of survival. A storm of ingenuity. A species that rose from extinction events and fire. A species that endured everything the universe threw at them. And this time, humanity would rise again. Because the debt was real. And humans always paid their debt. One way or another.